Anxiety can feel like a constant shadow, following you into your thoughts, your sleep, even your happiest moments. But what if there's a gentler way to face it? On the Dharma journey, we explore timeless Buddhist wisdom to understand the true nature of worry, fear, and the restless mind. In this video, we'll look at simple yet profound teachings to help you recognize anxiety for what it is, soften its grip, and discover a deeper calm that has always been within you. Take a quiet breath. Open your heart, and let's walk this mindful path together. The hidden worries behind a smile. Have you ever found yourself smiling, while a quiet storm brews in your chest? We all have. We've all worn that polite smile to get through another day, while our hearts carry burdens no one sees. Maybe it's the worry about tomorrow. The fear of losing what we hold dear. The secret feeling that we're not enough, no matter how hard we try. Some of us learn to hide our worries so well that even we forget they're there, until we lie awake at night. Mind racing in circles. We put on a brave face for family, friends, coworkers. We say, "I'm fine." But inside, we're not. Buddha's teachings remind us that we don't have to keep pretending forever. That gentle smile can stay on our lips, but behind it, our hearts can learn to rest, to breathe, to release the weight we've carried alone for so long. Take a moment, right here. Right now, to sit with yourself, the way a kind friend would sit beside you. Close your eyes if you can. Feel your breath moving in and out of your body. Each breath is proof, you are still here. Despite every worry and every sleepless night, you are here, alive, aware, capable of healing. Buddha taught that much of our suffering comes from holding on to fears, desires, regrets, and imagined scenarios that never come true. Our minds love to project shadows onto the future and replay mistakes from the past. But in this moment, this very breath, those shadows lose their power. This is what mindfulness means, to gently return home to the present, over and over again. When worry shows up behind your smile, don't push it away or judge yourself for feeling it. Instead, meet it like a wise teacher. Ask your worry, "What are you trying to tell me?" Maybe it's reminding you to rest, to set a boundary, to speak your truth, to let go of something you've outgrown. Sometimes, our worries are like small children tugging at our sleeves. They want to be noticed, held, and soothed, not ignored. So next time you feel that quiet anxiety in your chest, breathe into it. Place a gentle hand on your heart if it helps. Whisper to yourself, "It's okay to feel this." Buddha never promised that life would be free of pain. But he did promise that freedom is possible, not by escaping life, but by understanding it deeply. When we truly see our suffering for what it is, impermanent, conditioned, not who we really are, we loosen our grip. Suddenly, we have space. Space to choose kindness over harshness, calm over chaos, compassion over self-criticism. You don't need to force yourself to be positive all the time. The path is not about fake smiles. It's about honest ones, the kind that rise naturally when your heart feels safe, open, and unburdened. So how do we walk this path? One breath at a time. One gentle smile at a time. One act of courage to sit with ourselves, just as we are, without pretending we have it all figured out. Maybe tonight, instead of hiding your worries, you could write them down. Look at them on paper, like old friends you no longer have to fear. Maybe you could share them with someone you trust, a friend, a teacher, a quiet prayer whispered to the night sky. Maybe you could remind yourself that you are not your worries, they are just clouds passing through the wide sky of your mind. In the end, the smile you wear for the world will feel lighter when it's not masking your pain, but expressing your peace. This is the smile Buddha points us toward, a smile that comes not from pretending, but from truly understanding. All things arise and pass away. No fear can last forever. No worry can chain a mind that knows its own freedom. Tonight, may you find a little more ease within yourself. May you sit with your hidden worries, and gently let them go. May you wake tomorrow with a smile that needs no disguise, a smile born from the deep knowing that you are enough, just as you are. And if these words touch something quiet inside you, may you remember, you are never alone on this journey. Somewhere, someone is breathing with you, practicing the same gentle art of letting go. Stay here. Breathe. Smile, not to hide your pain, but to honor the peace that has always lived inside you, waiting to be seen. Anxiety is a natural reaction, but it's not who you are. You're not wrong for feeling anxious. Anxiety isn't something evil or something you have to completely destroy. It's simply a natural response of the mind when faced with uncertainty, potential loss, or changes we can't control. The problem isn't the feeling itself. The suffering comes when we mistake anxiety for our whole identity and judge ourselves for feeling it. Think about the nights you lie awake, staring at the ceiling while your mind loops through worry after worry. One unanswered message, an offhand comment someone made. A future that hasn't taken shape yet, that's all it takes for the mind to spin stories. Your breath shortens, your heart races. Your hands clutch the blanket tight, all because of thoughts that might vanish by tomorrow. But if you really look, anxiety arises on its own, grows for a while, then fades. You didn't invent it, and you don't have to fight it by blaming yourself or forcing yourself to be tough. The Buddha didn't teach us to become statues without feeling. He taught us to look deeply at our emotions, to understand them, and to let them go when the time is right. Mindfulness is the key. When you're aware, you see clearly, this is anxiety. It's here right now, but it's not the whole of me. You can still breathe, still get out of bed, make a cup of tea, hear the birds outside your window. Your mind is far bigger than any passing feeling. In the Satipatthana Sutta, the Buddha taught, observe feelings as feelings. Don't label them as me. Don't say, I'm anxious, I'm weak, I'm not enough. Just see it for what it is. This is a feeling of anxiety arising. When you see it clearly, you create space between you and the feeling. Your mind returns to its role as the gentle observer, calm, patient, not judging. But seeing alone isn't enough. The Buddha showed us how to let go at the right time. Letting go doesn't mean suppressing or denying. It means breathing out gently, setting down the burden you've clung to for so long. When anxiety comes, greet it. When it wants to leave, don't cling to it. If you hold on to it, feeding it with fear, it grows. But if you understand its impermanence, you see it's as fragile as a cloud drifting across the sky of your mind. Try this, sit down for a moment, in silence. Rest your hand on your chest and feel your heartbeat. Every inhale is a chance to look into your anxiety. Every exhale is a chance to let it go, like releasing a dry leaf onto a still pond. The pond remains clear and calm. The leaf dissolves in the flow of time. You might ask yourself, is this worry real? Is it happening now, or is it just a story my mind made up? How many times in your life have you worried, only to find that what you feared never came to pass? The mind loves to protect you by imagining the worst, but sometimes that protection becomes a cage. A wise person isn't someone who never feels anxious, but someone who understands anxiety so they're not ruled by it. The Buddha reminded us again and again. The root of suffering doesn't lie in the world outside, but in our own attachment and grasping. When you loosen your grip, your mind naturally opens. And when your mind is open, even your problems feel lighter. The storms of life may still come, but they no longer drown you in endless thought. The beautiful truth is you don't have to transform into a saint overnight. Start simply by being kind to yourself. When anxiety visits, don't chase it away like an enemy. Invite it in for tea. Ask it, what are you here to tell me? Maybe it's reminding you to rest, to take a break, to release what no longer serves you. When you hear the message, anxiety loses its grip. You are not wrong for being afraid. You only suffer when you believe you shouldn't feel fear. The truth is, we all have tender parts inside. That's what makes us human. When we're awake and aware, we can see clearly, and let go when the moment is right, and each time we do, we step closer to the freedom the Buddha spoke of. Believe this, every worry will pass, like rain clouds clearing to reveal the open sky. And when the sky of your mind clears, you'll find that behind your smile there are no more hidden shadows, only the gentle light of understanding and release. Come back to your breath, to this moment, where there is no painful past, no frightening future. Here and now, you are free. Here and now, you are enough. Here and now, anxiety is just a passing cloud in the vast, spacious sky within you. Understanding your mind, the first step to freedom. Have you ever wondered why, no matter how hard you try to fix things on the outside, peace still feels so far away? Maybe you've done everything right, worked hard, planned carefully, tried to stay positive, yet at night, when it's just you and your thoughts, there it is again, that quiet tension in your chest. The endless what-ifs. What if it doesn't work out? What if I'm not enough? What if I lose what I love? Anxiety loves to feed on unanswered questions. It's like a restless child, tugging at your sleeve, asking, what's next? What if? What if? What if? And the more you run from it, the louder it gets. But here's something the Buddha pointed out long ago, and modern life keeps proving it true. No one can truly be free if they never dare to look directly into their own mind. Take a breath with me now. Really, stop for a moment. Breathe in, and breathe out. When you pause like this, you give yourself a chance to see what's really there. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's doubt. Maybe it's just a deep fatigue from trying so hard to hold everything together. You see, the mind is like a mirror. If it's dusty, you can't see clearly. You might think the world is broken. People are untrustworthy, you're not good enough. But what if it's just the dust? What if the fear and worry you carry aren't who you are, but just layers you've picked up along the way? The Buddha didn't say, you must get rid of all feelings. He didn't tell us to fight our emotions or pretend they're not there. He taught us to see them clearly, to shine the light of awareness onto the darkest corners of our minds. Because when the mind is calm, the world feels different. It really does. Imagine standing at the edge of a lake on a windy day. The water is choppy, muddy, you can't see anything below the surface. But when the wind settles, when the ripples fade, suddenly, the water is clear. You see the rocks, the fish, the reflection of the sky. Our minds work the same way. When we understand what's happening inside, we're no longer controlled by fear or old habits. We can respond wisely instead of reacting blindly. So how do you start? First, stop blaming yourself for feeling anxious. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're human. Second, dare to look. Ask yourself, where does this worry come from? Is it even true? Or is it just an old story playing on repeat? Maybe you worry about the future, will I be okay? Maybe you keep asking, am I enough? And underneath it all is the same wish every heart holds, to feel safe. To feel loved. To feel at peace. You don't need to fix every problem right now. You don't need to have every answer. All you need is the courage to sit quietly, breathe, and watch your mind like you'd watch a river flow by. When a thought comes, notice it. When it goes, let it go. Don't grab it. Don't chase it. Just see it. Ah, here is worry. Ah, here is fear. Ah, here is doubt. Name it. Breathe with it. And slowly, the grip loosens. This is how understanding is born. And understanding is freedom. The Buddha once said, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. Your thoughts shape your world, but you are not your thoughts. You are the one who sees them. So the next time your mind spins stories at midnight, remember, you can always come back to your breath. One mindful breath breaks the chain. One gentle look inside breaks the illusion that you are trapped. Every great teacher, every wise monk, every ordinary person who has tasted real peace, they all began by turning inward. They all sat with themselves, sometimes with tears, sometimes with fear, always with honesty. So tonight, maybe you could do the same. Turn off the noise. Sit down. Place your hand on your heart. Feel it beating, proof that you're still here, still alive, still capable of change. Whisper to yourself. It's okay to feel this. It's okay not to have all the answers. It's enough to be here, breathing, noticing, softening. Little by little, the mind settles. Little by little, you stop running from yourself. And one day, you find that underneath all the questions, what will happen? Am I enough? There's a quiet truth. When the mind is calm, everything looks different. When the mind is clear, freedom is already here. So breathe. Stay. Watch. Trust that your mind, once understood, can become your greatest friend. This is the first step. This is where freedom begins. The miracle of the breath. When the mind is tangled, when the heart feels like it's drowning in worry, what's the first thing we tend to do? We look outside. We reach for our phones, hoping for distraction. We replay conversations in our heads, trying to fix what's already done. We plan, overthink, imagine worst-case scenarios. We tell ourselves, if I can just figure it out, then I'll feel better. But the truth is, the more we chase calm on the outside, the further it slips away inside. It's such a simple thing, almost too simple for our busy minds to believe. One mindful breath can change everything. When life feels too much, stop. Just for a moment. Sit. Close your eyes if it feels safe. Place one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest. Feel that? That gentle rise and fall. That is life itself, flowing through you, asking for nothing but your awareness. You see, the breath is always there, patient, quiet, free. No one can steal it from you. You don't need permission to come back to it. You don't need to earn it or prove you deserve it. With every mindful inhale, you come home to yourself. With every soft exhale, you let go of tension in your shoulders, of thoughts that won't stop spinning, of stories that keep you stuck in fear. When the Buddha spoke of the power of mindfulness, he spoke again and again of the breath. Why? Because the breath is the bridge between the body and the mind. It's the one place we can return to, anytime, anywhere, and remember, I am here. I am alive. I am enough, right now. An anxious mind wants to jump forward. It lives in what-ifs and should-haves. But the breath only lives here, in this second, in this heartbeat. In this very moment. When you notice your breathing, you cut through the fog of overthinking. You bring your awareness out of the past, out of the future, back to the miracle happening now. Try it with me. Breathe in, slowly. Feel the cool air entering your nose, filling your lungs. Hold it for a brief moment, feel the pause, the quiet. And then breathe out, even slower than you breathed in. Feel your shoulders drop. Feel your face soften. Feel the tightness in your chest loosen its grip, even just a little. This is not magic in the sense of something mystical and unreachable. It's the everyday magic that lives in your own body, a hidden door that opens to peace when you remember to knock. Some days, your mind will argue. It will say, this is silly. I don't have time for this. I need to fix my problems, not sit here breathing. But here's the secret. When you breathe mindfully, you are fixing your problems at their root. Because when your mind is calm, you see more clearly. You respond more wisely. You don't say things you'll regret. You don't make fear-based choices that create more worry tomorrow. One mindful breath doesn't erase every storm, but it keeps you steady while the storm passes. If you practice this again and again, in the car, at your desk, lying awake at night, you begin to realize that the breath is not just air. It's an anchor. It's your reminder that you are not your thoughts. You are not your fear. You are the witness, the open sky through which these passing clouds drift. The more you return to your breath, the less power those clouds have to control you. Maybe you're listening to this with a heavy heart tonight. Maybe your chest feels tight, your mind restless. If so, pause with me now. Inhale, feel your belly rise. Exhale, feel your belly fall. If you can, count to 4 as you breathe in. Hold for a count of 4. Breathe out for a count of 6. Let the exhale be longer than the inhale. This tells your nervous system, it's okay. You're safe. And if your mind wanders, which it will, don't be harsh with yourself. Every time you notice you've drifted, that's not a failure. That's the practice. That's mindfulness. Gently, kindly, come back. Again and again. Each breath is a new beginning. Each breath is a chance to drop your shoulders, unclench your jaw, soften the hard armor around your heart. So when life feels too loud, remember the miracle waiting inside you. When worry knocks at the door at 2 a.m., remember your breath knows the way back to calm. When anger rises, when sadness weighs you down, when fear grips your chest, remember, one breath. Just one breath can change the whole moment. You don't have to climb a mountain. You don't have to run away to a monastery. Your peace lives closer than that. It lives here, in your lungs. In your chest, in this quiet, precious moment that is yours alone. So let's do it once more. Inhale, deep, gentle. Exhale, slow, grateful. This is how you save yourself, not all at once, but breath by breath by breath. This is the miracle. This is the gift. This is your life, waiting for you to come home to it, one mindful breath at a time. Mindfulness, here and now. Anxiety lives in the future. Regret lives in the past. And you, where do you live? If you truly want to feel alive, there is only one place you can be, right here. Right now. We spend so much of our lives caught between what has already happened and what might happen next. We replay old conversations, we rewrite old mistakes. We imagine better endings for things that cannot be changed. Or we lean forward into tomorrow, worrying about what we cannot yet see, trying to prepare for every possibility. In all this rushing back and forth, we forget the only place life actually exists, the present moment. The Buddha taught that mindfulness, is not something complicated or reserved for monks and hermits. It is simple, but it asks for our full attention. It is the practice of being awake to what is happening inside and around us, exactly as it is, without adding or taking away. So many people think mindfulness is just sitting on a cushion. Legs crossed, eyes closed. But it is more than that. It is not only about formal meditation, although meditation helps. It is about training the mind to come home to this moment, again and again. Whether you are sitting, walking, washing dishes, or listening to the rain. In daily life, the mind likes to wander. It drifts into stories. What if I fail? What if they don't like me? What if I lose what I love? Or it clings to old wounds. I should have done it differently. I shouldn't have said that. Why did this happen to me? But these thoughts are not real in this moment. They are shadows and echoes, pulling you away from the life that is right in front of you. Mindfulness is the gentle art of calling the mind back. Not by force, but by awareness. When you notice your mind has wandered, you don't judge yourself. You don't blame yourself for being distracted. You simply return. Each time you come back, you strengthen a habit of presence. Little by little, you create a refuge inside yourself, a place untouched by regret and untouched by fear. Sometimes, mindfulness can be as simple as paying full attention to your breath. You feel the air enter your nose, your chest rise, your belly expand. You feel the exhale, soft and slow. In that moment, you are not your past or your future, you are just here, breathing, alive. Other times, mindfulness means noticing your steps as you walk, the way your feet touch the ground. It means tasting your tea instead of drinking it while scrolling your phone. It means listening fully when someone speaks to you, without already planning your reply. When you live this way, life becomes clearer and softer. The same problems may be there, bills to pay, relationships to heal, work to finish, but you are not drowning in them. You handle each thing as it comes, one moment at a time, with more calm and less panic. Many people run after happiness in distant dreams, a perfect job, a perfect partner, a future without problems. But mindfulness teaches a quiet truth: true happiness can only bloom here and now. If you are not mindful, even the best things will pass you by unnoticed. A child's laughter, a warm meal, a kind word, all are precious moments that slip away if you are lost in your head. When you train yourself to stay present, you begin to see that many of your fears never come true. Many regrets lose their weight when you stop feeding them with endless thinking. You realize that this moment is always new, fresh, alive, and you have a choice in it, to show up, to breathe, to see, to feel fully. Mindfulness does not promise to erase all suffering. Life will still bring sorrow, loss, and change. But when you are mindful, suffering does not drown you so easily. You see it clearly. You know, this is sadness. You feel it, but you don't become it. You allow it to pass through you like a wave that rises and falls. The beauty of mindfulness is that it is always available. No special tools are needed. You carry it with you in your breath, your steps, your open eyes. It is your natural state, covered only by habits of distraction and forgetfulness. In a world that pushes us to rush and achieve and prove ourselves endlessly, mindfulness is an act of quiet courage. It is the decision to stop running and to touch deeply what is already here. It is the trust that this moment, simple and imperfect, is enough. When you sit and breathe mindfully, you are telling yourself, I am here. I am alive. I don't need to be anywhere else. Nothing is missing in this breath. When you wash dishes, you feel the warm water, the smooth plate in your hands. When you eat, you taste each bite. When you speak, you know you are speaking. When you listen, you are truly there. Life becomes less of a blur and more of a clear, steady unfolding. This is the heart of Chan Neem, simple, quiet, real. Each small moment lived mindfully is a seed planted in your heart. Over time, these seeds grow into inner freedom. You find a calm that does not depend on perfect conditions, a happiness that does not come from escaping your life but from truly living it. So if you want to be free from anxiety and regret, start by being here. Not in tomorrow. Not in yesterday. Just here. Breathe. Notice. Smile. Come home to this moment, it is the only place where life is truly happening. This is mindfulness. This is freedom. This is your life, right here, right now. Impermanence, a lesson in transformation. The Buddha taught a simple but powerful truth: everything changes. At first glance, these words may sound obvious. Of course things change, we see it every day. But if you look deeper, you'll see that truly understanding impermanence is the key to living with less fear, less anxiety, and more freedom. Think of your worries. One day they feel so big you can hardly breathe. Your mind spins stories about what might go wrong. You feel trapped in thoughts that seem endless and solid. But look back on your life for a moment. How many worries that kept you up at night 5 years ago, 10 years ago, are even real today? How many storms in your mind have come and gone? like clouds dissolving into blue sky. This is the lesson of impermanence. Everything that rises will eventually fall away. Nothing stays the same forever, not your fear, not your sadness. Not even your greatest joy. Everything shifts, transforms, and passes through you like a river flowing by. When you forget this truth, anxiety takes hold. You cling to what you want to keep, your health, your relationships, your plans, your sense of control, and you fight to push away what you don't want: pain, loss, change. But life never asks for your permission to change. It simply does. Clinging only makes the changes feel more painful than they truly are. The Buddha didn't teach impermanence to make us feel hopeless. He taught it to help us see that life is alive and moving, never stuck. Even the hardest moment is not permanent. Even the sharpest fear cannot last forever. When you know this deeply, your mind learns to rest in the flow instead of fighting it. Imagine holding a handful of sand. Try to squeeze it tight. The harder you hold, the faster it slips through your fingers. But if you open your palm and let the sand rest there, it stays for a while before the wind gently carries it away. Life is like that. Fear is like that. The tighter you grip your worries, the stronger they feel. When you open your heart, your breath, and your mind, the worries lose their weight. This doesn't mean we deny our feelings. It means we watch them with the wisdom that they will change. When anxiety rises, you can say to yourself, "This is here now, but it will not stay forever." One day it is big like a storm cloud. The next day, the wind blows and the sky is clear again. Every leaf that falls, every sunset that fades, every heartbeat that passes, they are gentle reminders that life is always in motion. The same is true for our inner world. Anger flares up and softens. Sadness deepens and then lifts. Joy fills your chest and then makes space for stillness again. When you trust this flow, you no longer feel stuck inside any one emotion. You become more patient with yourself. You can hold your fear gently instead of trying to destroy it. You can allow sadness to visit without believing it will drown you. You can taste happiness fully, knowing it is precious exactly because it will not stay forever. Impermanence is not just about loss, it is also about hope. It means no pain is eternal. No mistake defines you forever. No regret has to chain you to yesterday. Each breath you take is a small rebirth, a chance to begin again. Sometimes, when worry fills your mind, you feel you must do something right now to fix it. But what if, instead, you just watched it change, soften, drift away? What if you trusted that time, awareness, and gentle acceptance can transform even the hardest fear? Many great teachers remind us, if you want to see impermanence in action, watch your breath. One inhale, one exhale, each breath arises and disappears. You can't hold on to it. You can't keep it forever. And yet, another breath comes. Life continues. Your mind calms when you rest in this rhythm. You don't need to chant complicated mantras to remember impermanence. Just look at the small changes around you, the changing light of day, the seasons, the lines on your face that come with time, the way laughter bubbles up and fades. All these little shifts are life's way of reminding you, nothing stays the same. Nothing is stuck. Everything can transform. When you feel anxious, try this practice: sit quietly and breathe. Name your worry. Feel it in your body, maybe it's tightness in your chest, a knot in your stomach. Stay with it, without pushing it away. Then remind yourself, this too will change. This feeling is not who I am. It will pass. Sometimes just knowing that is enough to help you loosen your grip. It doesn't erase the feeling instantly, but it gives you space to breathe around it. And when there is space, transformation happens naturally. Impermanence invites you to live with more tenderness, not just toward yourself, but toward others too. When you remember that everyone you meet is also changing, also carrying worries that come and go, your heart softens. You judge less. You love more freely. Because you know that each moment with someone is unique, never to return exactly the same way again. So when you find yourself stuck in fear, or drowning in regret, come back to this simple truth. Everything changes. This is not just a teaching, it is a deep, living reality. Like waves, thoughts and feelings rise and fall. Like clouds, they appear and disappear. And through it all, your awareness remains, calm, steady, awake. The next time anxiety visits, greet it as a passing guest, not a permanent resident. Sit with it, watch it. Breathe with it, and remember that it too is made of the same shifting nature as everything else. Today it feels heavy. Tomorrow it may be gone like mist burned away by the morning sun. In this way, impermanence is not something to fear, it is something to trust. It is the doorway to freedom. It reminds you that life is never frozen, that healing is possible. That new beginnings are always waiting in each new breath. Everything changes. This is the Buddha's simple promise. And when you truly see it, you no longer have to let worry hold you back. You can stand where you are, breathe deeply, and let life move through you, ever changing, ever renewing, just like the wind through the trees, the river flowing to the sea. And the quiet courage of your own heart, opening again and again. The art of letting go, not giving up, but becoming free. We live in a world that often tells us to hold on, to fight harder, to never let go. We grow up hearing that giving up is weakness, that surrender means failure, that if we just try a little more, push a little more, grip a little tighter, we will finally have what we want. But the deeper wisdom of life, the truth that echoes through the teachings of the Buddha and many wise ones, is this. Sometimes freedom is not found in holding on, but in knowing when to let go. Letting go does not mean you lose. It does not mean you stop caring. It does not mean you abandon your responsibilities or walk away from what matters. True letting go is an art, an inner shift where you choose to release what no longer serves you. What weighs you down, what keeps you locked in cycles of pain and struggle. When you know how to let go, you don't become less. You become more yourself. Think about the burdens we carry, old grudges, regrets about what we did or didn't do, anger at someone who hurt us, fear of what might happen tomorrow. We carry these things like invisible stones in a backpack strapped to our shoulders. Over time, we forget that we can take the backpack off. We forget that our hands were never meant to cling so tightly for so long. Many people misunderstand letting go. They think it means passivity, that you simply sit back and accept whatever happens. But real letting go is active. It takes courage to unclench your fists when you've been holding on for years. It takes trust to loosen your grip on stories you've told yourself over and over. I'm not enough. I have to fix everything. If I let go, I will lose control. Control, that's the heart of it. Isn't it? So much of what we hold on to is about wanting to feel in control. We cling to relationships that no longer bring us peace. We replay arguments in our heads, thinking if we can rewrite the past, the pain will vanish. We worry about tomorrow's problems as if our worrying could stop them from arriving. But life does not bend to our need for certainty. Life flows as it does, unpredictable, alive, full of change. The Buddha often spoke of attachment as the root of suffering. To attach is to cling, to grasp. To hold so tightly that we forget everything is, by nature, changing. Nothing stays the same. Not our bodies, not our feelings, not even our deepest fears. Letting go is not rejecting life, it is saying yes to life's movement. It is saying, I trust that what is true will remain, and what is meant to pass will pass. Imagine standing in a river. If you try to hold the water still in your hands, you can't. It slips through your fingers no matter how hard you squeeze. But if you stand still and feel the river flow around you, you experience its freshness, its life, its gift, without trying to capture it. Letting go is like that, allowing life to move without fighting its flow. So how do we practice letting go? Sometimes it begins with forgiveness, not always for others, but for ourselves. Forgiveness does not mean saying what happened was okay. It means loosening the hold that old pain has on you. It means setting down the anger that poisons your heart more than it punishes anyone else. Sometimes, letting go means releasing expectations of how people should act, how life should unfold, how we should feel. Expectations tie us to disappointment. When we loosen them, we find room to breathe. Sometimes, letting go is simply allowing yourself to feel what you feel without adding more stories on top. Sadness is sadness. Fear is fear. They rise, they fall. You don't have to cling to them or push them away. Just breathe, watch, and trust that they will pass. When you learn to let go, you discover a freedom that does not depend on everything being perfect. You find an inner space that is calm even when storms come. You see that you can love without clinging. Give without expecting something in return, live fully without trying to control every moment. People often ask, but what if I let go and lose everything? The truth is, letting go does not take away what is real. What is real, what is meant for you, will stay. What falls away was never truly yours to keep. This is not just an idea, it is something to live. To test in small ways. When worry grips you, pause and ask, what am I holding so tightly right now? Take a breath. Soften your shoulders. Imagine setting that worry down beside you. Just for a moment. Feel the space that opens up inside you when your grip loosens. In that space, you may find something unexpected, relief. Lightness. The quiet truth that you do not need to carry so much to be enough. You do not need to hold so tightly to be safe. You can stand here, open-handed, open-hearted, and trust that life will carry you forward. Letting go is not about giving up on life. It is about giving up the struggle against life's nature. It is about surrendering to change, to impermanence, to the mystery that none of us can control. It is about choosing to meet each moment fresh, without dragging the weight of yesterday or the fear of tomorrow into it. The next time you find yourself exhausted from clinging to an old hurt, an old fear, an old version of yourself, remember this: you are not losing when you let go. You are returning to who you truly are underneath all the clinging, free, open, alive. When you let go, you do not shrink. You expand. You find that what remains is not emptiness, but spaciousness. In that spaciousness, you meet yourself again, not the anxious self, not the fearful self, but the true self that was always there, waiting for you to come home. This is the art of letting go. Not an act of defeat, but an act of deep courage. Not an end, but a beginning. Not giving up, but finally choosing freedom. Sit still, listening to yourself for the first time. Maybe you've spent your whole life listening to the noise of the world, to other people's opinions, to the endless demands telling you who you should be and what you should do. Maybe you've spent years hearing everyone else, but never truly hearing yourself. In this busy, restless world, silence has become a rare gift. We are so used to filling every moment with conversations, music, notifications, scrolling. We wake up to alarms and fall asleep to screens. Even when we sit alone, our minds are crowded with worries, plans, regrets, memories. We've forgotten what it feels like to simply be with ourselves, without any distractions. But the truth is, your mind, your true mind, is always waiting for you. Beneath all the thoughts and noise, there is a quiet place that doesn't shout for your attention. It waits patiently, like still water at the bottom of a deep well. And the only way to find it is to stop running and sit still. Sit still. Not to force your thoughts to disappear, not to escape reality, but to meet it fully. To meet yourself fully. This is a medicine the world cannot sell you. You won't find it in a store, on a shelf, or in an app. It's always been inside you, a place of rest and knowing that can only be touched in silence. Try it, even just for a few minutes a day. Find a quiet spot. Turn off your phone. Close the door. Sit down comfortably. You don't need to sit in any special way. Rest your hands on your knees or in your lap. Close your eyes, if it helps. Take a few slow breaths. Feel the ground beneath you. Steady and supportive. Feel your back straight but not stiff, your shoulders soft. At first, you might notice the noise in your mind gets louder. That's normal. You suddenly hear all the things you usually drown out with distractions, unfinished tasks, stray worries, echoes of old conversations. Don't fight them. Don't get up. Just sit. Watch the thoughts appear and disappear, like clouds drifting across an open sky. Listen deeper. Underneath the swirl of thoughts, what do you feel? Maybe it's restlessness. Maybe it's sadness you didn't know you were carrying. Maybe it's relief, like your heart has been waiting for you to stop and visit. This simple act, sitting still, doing nothing, is more radical than we think. The world teaches us to always do, fix, improve. But the mind does not always need to be fixed. Sometimes, it just needs to be heard. When you sit in silence, you give your heart permission to speak in a voice that is soft, gentle, and often drowned out by everyday noise. In these quiet minutes, you might discover truths about yourself that don't come when you're busy. You might notice how tired you are from trying to be someone you're not. You might notice how much you long to feel safe, seen, at peace. You might even find a small seed of joy, the simple joy of being alive, breathing, with nothing to prove. Many spiritual teachers say that silence is the language of the soul. When you sit still, you remember that you are more than your thoughts. You are more than your worries. You are the calm witness behind them. You are the space in which they come and go. It doesn't take hours. A few minutes is enough to begin. 5 minutes before you rush into your day. 5 minutes when you come home, before you pick up your phone. 5 minutes before you sleep. Instead of scrolling until your eyes are heavy. Over time, those few minutes can change your whole relationship with yourself. You may find that the voice inside you becomes kinder. That you begin to trust your own heart more than the loud voices outside. That you make choices not from fear or pressure, but from a quiet place of knowing what really matters. Sitting still is not about escaping life's problems. It is about meeting them with a clear, calm mind. It's about building a refuge inside you, so that no matter how noisy the world gets, you know how to return to a place that is always steady and unshaken. Some days, sitting still will feel peaceful. Other days, it may feel uncomfortable, like sitting with an old friend you haven't seen in years and don't know what to say to yet. That's okay. Stay anyway. The discomfort is part of remembering how to come home to yourself. When you give yourself this gift, you also give it to everyone around you. A person who knows how to sit still is a person who can listen, truly listen, to others. A person who is not lost in their own noise can be present for life's small moments, a child's laughter, the sound of rain, the beauty of ordinary things. So if you feel overwhelmed, if you feel scattered, if you feel like the world is pulling you in 100 directions, stop. Sit down. Be still. Even if it's just for a few breaths. Put down your phone. Put down your worries. Listen, not to the world, but to the quiet voice that lives deep inside you. With practice, you'll find that the silence you create is not empty. It's full of life, full of wisdom, full of the calm strength you've been searching for everywhere else. And you'll see, what you truly need is not more noise, more advice, more things. What you truly need is already here, waiting for you to sit down, close your eyes, and listen. This is the art of sitting still. This is the simple courage of hearing yourself for the first time, and every time after. In the quiet, you come home. In the quiet, you find yourself again. In the quiet, you remember. You are enough. You always have been. Self-compassion, stop demanding that you always be strong. Somewhere along the way, many of us learned that strength means never breaking down. Never feeling afraid, never showing weakness. We learn to measure our worth by how well we hold ourselves together, how well we hide our tears, how quickly we get back up when we fall. How much we can carry without asking for help. But what if true strength is not about always being strong? What if real strength is found in the softness you offer yourself when you're at your most fragile? We live in a world that praises pushing through fear, exhaustion, sadness. We're told to be resilient, to hustle harder, to keep our heads up no matter what. So when anxiety shows up, when our hearts pound, when our stomachs tighten, when sleep won't come, we blame ourselves. We think, I shouldn't feel like this. I should be stronger by now. I should have it all figured out. But the more you fight yourself, the heavier your burden becomes. Anxiety is already painful. Adding shame and self-criticism only makes it worse. Imagine this, if your best friend came to you, shaking with worry. Tears in their eyes, would you tell them to toughen up? To stop feeling what they feel? Of course not. You'd sit with them, hold their hand, remind them they're not alone. So why do we find it so hard to offer the same kindness to ourselves? Self-compassion is not weakness. It's not self-pity. It's not an excuse to give up. It is the simple, brave act of remembering that you are human, not a machine, not a superhero, not a flawless idea of who you think you should be. When anxiety comes, when fear whispers in your ear at 2 a.m., when your thoughts spin in circles and your chest feels tight, pause. Just pause. Take one slow breath. And instead of scolding yourself, ask a gentle question, what do I need right now? Not what you should do. Not how you should feel. Not what you think the world wants from you. But what you truly need in this very moment. Maybe you need rest. Maybe you need a cup of tea. A warm blanket, a deep breath. Maybe you need to cry, to let the tears you've been holding back finally wash through you. Maybe you need to put your hand on your own heart and say, it's okay. I'm here for you. This is what self-compassion sounds like. It is the voice inside you that says, you don't have to be perfect to be loved. You don't have to have it all together to deserve kindness. You are allowed to feel what you feel, and still be worthy of care. Many people think being hard on themselves will make them better. That if they're just more strict, more demanding, they'll finally reach the life they want. But shame doesn't heal us. Criticism doesn't soothe us. Pushing ourselves to the edge doesn't make us whole. Healing begins when we stop treating ourselves like a problem to be solved, and start treating ourselves like a friend to be cared for. Self-compassion is not something that happens once and stays forever. It is a practice. A quiet promise you make to yourself, over and over, I will not abandon you. Even when you fail. Even when you fall short. Even when your mind is loud with worry and doubt. If you're new to this, it might feel awkward at first. After years of demanding that you always be strong, softness can feel unfamiliar, even frightening. But stay with it. Sit quietly, breathe, and notice the harsh voice in your head. Notice how it talks to you when you're scared or tired. And then, gently, ask yourself, what would I say to someone I love if they felt like this? Then say those words to yourself. Sometimes, self-compassion is just letting yourself rest. Letting yourself do less. Letting yourself say no when your body and mind are begging for a pause. It is knowing that rest is not laziness, it is a necessary kindness that allows you to keep going. Sometimes, it is forgiving yourself, for not being able to do it all, for not always being okay, for being human. And sometimes, It is simply remembering that your worth has never depended on how perfectly you handle life's storms. It depends only on this: you are alive, breathing, and that is enough. When you practice self-compassion, you slowly build trust with yourself. You learn that you are not your harshest thoughts. You learn that it's safe to feel, to stumble, to be real. You discover an inner refuge where you can lay down your armor and just be. And as this kindness grows inside you, you begin to bring it outward, too. A person who knows how to be gentle with themselves finds it easier to be gentle with others. You listen more deeply. You judge less. You hold space for others to be human, too. If anxiety visits tonight, if your mind won't stop replaying old mistakes or rehearsing worst-case scenarios, pause. Put your hand on your chest. Breathe in. Breathe out. Whisper to yourself, I'm doing the best I can. I don't have to be perfect tonight. I'm allowed to rest. This simple softness is not weakness. It is quiet courage. It is the strength to turn toward yourself with love instead of judgment. It is the medicine you cannot buy anywhere, only you can give it to yourself. You don't need to be stronger. You don't need to be tougher. You only need to remember that who you are, right now, anxious, tired, trying your best, is enough. This is self-compassion, no grand gestures. No impossible standards, just you, learning to be a good friend to yourself, especially on the days when you need it most. Peace is a daily choice. The Buddha never promised that life would be free of pain. He never said there would be no loss, no fear, no moments of despair. What he offered instead was a path, a way to see clearly, to live wisely, and to come home to a quiet peace within, no matter what storms may come. At first, this idea can feel disappointing. Many of us wish for something more magical, a promise that if we practice enough, meditate enough, chant enough, our suffering will vanish forever. But suffering is part of being human. We cannot erase it. What we can do is choose how we meet it, how we live with it, how we transform our relationship with it. Peace is not something we stumble upon by accident. It does not appear suddenly when life finally becomes perfect. Peace is a choice, one we make over and over again, often in the smallest, quietest moments of our days. Every morning. When you open your eyes, you have a choice: will you feed your worries first? Or will you pause, take a breath, and remind yourself that peace is possible right here, in this single moment? Of course. It is not easy. The mind loves to cling to its anxieties, its endless what-ifs, its unfinished business. We tell ourselves, I'll feel peaceful when this is done. When they forgive me. When I earn enough. When my health is perfect. When everyone is happy with me. And so peace stays always just a little out of reach, waiting on a tomorrow that never comes. But what if peace isn't waiting at the end of the road? What if it's right here, beside you, asking only that you pause and notice it? The Buddha's teachings remind us that suffering comes from wanting life to be different than it is. We grasp at pleasure, push away pain, cling to what we love, resist what we hate. In this struggle, we lose touch with the quiet contentment that is always within us. When you see clearly that pain and joy both come and go, like the sun and the rain, you begin to understand. You don't have to fight so hard. You don't have to fix every feeling or control every outcome. You can meet life as it is, moment by moment. Breath by breath, with the steady light of mindfulness to guide you back when you get lost. Each day, we are given countless chances to choose peace. The moment you feel your chest tighten with worry, pause. Feel your breath. The moment anger rises in your throat, pause. Feel your feet on the ground. The moment sadness washes over you, pause. Place your hand gently on your heart. These small pauses are not magic spells that make pain disappear. They are small doors that open into a deeper truth. You can live with what is here without drowning in it. You can sit with your fear, your regret, your uncertainty, without letting it define you. In this gentle returning, again and again, you discover the calm center that has always been yours. To choose peace is not to pretend everything is fine when it's not. It is not to force a smile when your heart is heavy. It is to tell yourself, I see this pain. I accept that it's here. And still, I will not abandon my own calm. This is mindfulness, not an escape, but a lantern that lights the path through the dark. Many people believe they don't have time for peace. They imagine it requires hours of meditation or long retreats far away from ordinary life. But the truth is, peace lives in the simplest things. A mindful breath before you reply in anger, a slow walk when your mind races, a gentle smile to yourself when you remember how hard you're trying. You don't have to wait for the world to calm down. You don't have to wait for your mind to be perfect. Peace begins when you decide, today, I will practice coming back. Today, I will choose to be here, fully, with all that I am. Over time, these small choices become your path. Each mindful step plants a seed. Each gentle breath waters it. Slowly, patiently, you grow a garden of calm within your own heart. And as you grow this peace inside, you share it without even trying. Your family feels it when you listen instead of react. Your friends feel it when you hold space for their pain without judgment. Even strangers feel it when you move through the world with quiet kindness, steady and grounded. The Buddha showed the way, but he did not walk it for us. He offered his wisdom and his compassion. But each of us must take the steps ourselves. Each of us must sit when the mind says, run. Must breathe when the heart says, panic. Must soften when the old habits say, fight. And when we fall, because we will, we begin again. Choosing peace is not about getting it right all the time. It is about remembering that each breath, each moment, each sunrise is a chance to return. To come home to this body, this mind, this fragile, precious life. No one can give you this peace. No one can choose it for you. But no one can take it away either, because it lives inside you, waiting, patient, like a small flame that never goes out. So today, and tomorrow, and all the days after, may you remember. Peace is not a gift that comes from the world. Peace is a choice you make, again and again, with every step, every breath, every heartbeat. May you choose it. May you live it. May you share it, one mindful moment at a time. Thank you for sitting here with me today. In this busy, restless world, it's not always easy to pause, to sit down, breathe deeply, and listen to teachings that remind us of what truly matters. So if you made it here, thank you. It means you gave yourself this small gift of presence, and I hope it brought you a little more ease, a little more clarity, and a gentle reminder that you are not alone. If the Buddha's wisdom today helped you feel even a bit lighter, please share your thoughts below. Maybe your words, your story, your reflections will reach someone else out there who is carrying the same worries, and in this way, you might help them find their own moment of healing too. And if you'd like to keep walking this path together, don't forget to subscribe to the Dharma journey. Each day, we create this quiet space to come home to ourselves, to sit down again, to listen, to breathe, to let go of what no longer serves us, and to remember that true peace has always been inside us. Your presence here makes this journey more beautiful. Every comment, every share, every moment you show up is a small light that adds warmth to this circle of calm souls. So thank you, truly, for being here. Until we meet again in the next video, may your mind find calm. May your heart stay open, and may you always remember, peace is your true home, and you are always welcome here.